The
You know,
character in the
you
film.
got like Chris Bridges in Crash, where he's the man is acting.
Yeah, he has a crucial role.
You know, it's like you can't. Look, yeah, look, we've gone up there. Like these are the little things that combine. It's not like John Carpenter sat down and thought about all these different things. It's a lot of it is instincts, the instinct of the times, the instinct of the way things work. This is just the way people would even go about baking a cake at that time. The society means that you have to do these things, otherwise you're not even going to get off the ground. You know, now you just need to be some guy who has a rich friend. And you like Bryan Singer, the guy made a crap Superman film, but because he has so many friends in Hollywood, it took a Batman film to come out and make $1 billion before they said, "Look, guys, it's ridiculous." Because everyone should know that a Superman movie that's going to come out and make 390 million is a joke. But up until that Dark Knight movie came out, we're saying like, oh, who knows? Shall he? Will he? We're hearing of like Brandon Routh's wedding with Peters and Singer at his wedding. I'm like, what's the They're going to turn the whole Superman franchise into a little boys' club.
And I think, like, again, even going back to the whole Superman thing, is like, yeah, I mean, I think I truly believe that people are incapable of making the right Superman film. Because, like, just looking at this Escape from New York and everything, like, how guys, they can't make the right choices and the right moves out. When you're so obsessed with money, and the society is so wrong, and people who have their heads screwed on are so minimal, and like are really on the fringes, you can't make the right choices. The right choices cannot be made, you know, because people within the room, where they're the guys who are calling them shots, they will not put one and one together and say, Mel Gibson, make a Superman film. That is not like Richard Donner. Like, make a Superman film that can be relevant for the society today. Like, they just can't do it, you know. And, you know, that's why I say that, you know, I mean, for something like this, yeah, you just only wish that we could have more stories like John Carpenter out there.
And I'll tell you this, guys, now, while we have time, that in today's world, the only guy that can make the kind of Superman movie that has to be made. Because, see, you bring in other guys, Spielberg's will do something, other guys will do something. The only man that can make the kind of movie that has to be made, that can save Superman, that can actually save things, is Mel Gibson. He's the guy, because in this day and age, it has to be a particular kind of Superman that has to come out. Which means that we go beyond the expertise of the filmmaker, and we have to actually enter the personality of the filmmaker. That's where we need to get to now to deliver the product.
No, because yes, like when you look at the film this guy's made, like you look at your it's consistent. You look at your Braveheart, you look at your Passion of Christ, you look at Apocalypto. There is something that connects all of these films. There is a pattern. It isn't up and down. There's a pattern of like this guy makes extremely serious films, and you can see the personality within there. Like they're very serious films that are bigger than what you're actually watching on the screen. Like when you're looking at Apocalypto, it feels epic without having all this money being spent on it, without any CGI or anything. Apocalypto felt a lot more epic than most CG films I've seen.
It felt more epic than every CG, every epic I've seen. Save. Oof. I mean,
Peter Jackson.
It's a toss up between Apocalypse and The Lord of the Rings, and yes, it's a toss up because Peter Jackson did one hell of a job. You know, one of those movies, but you know. Mel Gibson came
just to that it's a toss up. That's already a great thing without any CG.
It's he made one hell of an epic film there with Apocalypto. I mean, even Uwe Boll said he liked Apocalypto.
Yeah, so listen, you can't go wrong with it. Like that. But I think just to closing thoughts on escaping. I think it is amazing. You know, obviously the power of film that something like this can live for so long, and also people, when they talked of the remake, had such strong feelings for trying to remake the film, and especially trying to remake the film without John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. Like the cheek, the audacity to actually even conceive of remaking something like this without the engines, without the catalysts involved, is just shocking. Which is why you can get stuff like Barbie being made, because that's the stupidity of the people that are around now. So, I I think for me, especially for me personally, like Escape from New York, it's like a huge influence on me, of like looking at society, the darkness of humanity, and especially, looking at Snake's relationship with Hulk, the relationship with the president, how the president of America is depicted. This guy who's treated like a wreck with lipstick on his face, tortured and everything, and because obviously that is key, because you never really see the president. I don't think any film presented the president in such low light as this, So again, that was, I'm gonna say, without spelling it out for you, ABC, just him presenting the president like that, and his relationship with Snake was already giving you the tools for the social commentary that you could have about this film, about the powers at B, people like soldiers who are basically treated like crap. They do all these things. They're given a raw deal, and they're treated like crap.
Something else people need to consider about. How much time tell me?
5 minutes.
Is something else people need to consider about. Obviously, Escape is the ending. At the end of the day, the ending to Escape works on a lot of different levels. A lot. So, at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not going to go into depth personally as to the poignancy or the flavor, the methods in which they constructed the final scene and all the rest of it. But it's one of those things that makes you think a lot about, the machine of... The irony is that what is going on in the end of Escape from New York is the same thing that we've been discussing about this whole Talkback. About what gratitude does society or people have for themselves? Like, how does society and people show gratitude and respect to the sacrifices other people have made for them? So you could look at that in terms of, let's say, guys in Iraq, or you could look at that in terms of artists, in terms of films, in terms of guys who see Escape but feel, we're going to get Jared Butler now to do it. It's not even like what puts society now in where it is now is because of a lack of gratitude and appreciation. And that essentially is really what's actually mocking the whole planet up, really. So, at the end of the day, it's just interesting that a movie as basic as Escape from New York, because of the structure of the end, this is an aspect. There's so many more different aspects, but I'm just picking out one aspect. That these are the kind of things that it tells you that without some stupid guy in two horns giving you a stinking speech about it. It tells you that if you want to think about it, really. That's what... Because it tells you that.
The key thing is that it gives you a choice. You can either just watch the movie and say, oh, that was a pretty good ride, and just leave it. Or you can be like, this movie is actually a lot more and actually extrapolate, because you're given a choice. The movies today, you're not given a choice. They don't allow you to give a choice. The
indie movies are the indie movies. The action are the action. The deep are deep. But then when you have a movie that's actually, it's a superhero movie, but it's deep too, you are told that it's a superhero movie, but it's deep as well. So they'll be damned if you're not going to walk... So realize that it's fake. It's contrived. Treating all of you guys and all of us like babies.
Yeah,
as simple as that.
It's the whole District 9 thing that because this is linked with apartheid and they're basically treating aliens like crap. Therefore, it's the most serious and hard-edged thing ever.
And may I ask, who the hell is Blomkey to draw parallels about anything to do with race?